Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's April 3rd, and price of Bitcoin currently at 69.85. I'm going to do a quick analysis to get you guys updated for the day and the weekend so you know what to look out for. First things first, let's pay the bills. Folks, if you're not aware of CryptoSomniac, again, we are one of the more premier CryptoSomniac and crypto groups around the space. All right, and we do provide equities analysis. All right, right there, live updates, stock market chat. We have a oil trading channel where we also provide updates on oil as well. And we start trading and sharing our Forex trades as well right there. Okay, so first thing, here's our Forex trade. We were shorting the Aussie dollar. And here's our trade. We entered at 61273. We're up about 72 pips as of yesterday at 605. And you can see the Aussie dollars already dropping. So we're up a good amount in this particular trade. And the reason we started sharing our Forex analysis is because, like I said, we're starting to expand our community. We're starting to hire more analysts. We're starting to show people that these markets across the board are probably some of the best to trade right now in this volatile environment, okay? And Faisal and myself, Faisal being our other analyst, we really want to provide as much analysis as we can for our Advantage members. And I did state that, starting April 1st, we're gonna include these new channels right here. So again, if you haven't purchased a membership, remember that new members, whenever we do hike up the prices, I think we're gonna hike them up maybe in a couple of weeks. You're gonna have to pay 125 or 150, somewhere around that ballpark, okay? Versus right now, it's only 97. So if you do buy now, you will be grandfathered in at the $97 price versus paying 25 to 50% extra later on when you do sign up. Okay, so I do urge you and encourage you guys to sign up. Like I said, you get the Bitcoin analysis, crypto analysis, and then on top of that, Forex updates, like we said, equities updates right here, oil updates right here. And then also we do options as well if you're interested in options. Here are some of my options trades right here. I'm sitting in a SPY put for April 24th, July 17th, 155 put, September 18th, 150 put. So, we trade pretty much everything. All right. Our experience in the markets across the board will show you what we're capable of. And our gains reviews should show you what we've done so far. Okay. So the entire, way of us building credibility is showing our members the amount of information, knowledge, trade setups, analysis that we provide. All right. And clearly our members really do enjoy our community. And a lot of these people, once they get in, they stay for, many, many months. Some of the people I know have been here for almost over a year, year and a half. So we have pretty great retention of our members. Unlike other groups where, you might join for a month, you might test it out, and then you realize they're not putting out enough content, or their trades suck, or they don't know what they're talking about. But here are people who have been with us for a while, right? Many, many months. And you can go back to the gains reviews all the way into 2019. You can go back into 2018. You could go back into even 2017. So we've been doing this for a while, folks. And, one thing that we like to pride ourselves in is just hard work, right? Really being honest with our members and not being, a facetious or BSing our members exactly what we're thinking about in the markets. Okay. And when we're wrong, we'll let you know we are wrong. All right. And it's okay because at least we can let you know that, all right, we'll minimize our losses, cut our trade, and then we'll flip the direction and bias if necessary. Okay. It's not that we ever hold on to our bias just because our ego is too big or anything as such. Right. And all this is verifiable. You can look at our, wins and losses in our leverage trading channels or wins and losses in these channels right here, which are the spot buy positions. Okay. So let me give you an example of what we did this morning, right? So this morning I gave, I basically, when I woke up, I told my members that here's a good way of looking at Bitcoin. Okay. When we were up here, so we were on the, I think, smaller time frame, right? So we're doing something like this, you know, so we were from this high to this low when we put up that fib, right? Just this morning when I woke up, I said, hey, this will be actually a perfect area right here to short, right? Because it's a golden pocket. Golden pockets between 618 and 65 fib, okay? Basically, as soon as I said that, and you can verify right here, right? As soon as I said that, you know, right there when price was at 7,034, price completely, you know, just collapsed. It dropped like, I think $75, $80 or so from this high. And then, you know, obviously quickly moved back up. But then follow up to that, all right? Here's me explaining, all right, well, if price holds up above this area or this area, chances are it's going to push higher, right? So you can see, as an FYI, if it get hold of these markers and it starts to push back up, chances are it may go higher towards the yearly open, which is around 71.65. So just be careful, okay? So these are the kinds of warnings and, you know, analyses that we put up to our Advantage members every hour, even multiple times in an hour, just to let you guys know exactly what we're seeing, okay? So now here's the analysis, you know, as I see it, okay? So here's how I would like to consider taking a trade. All right, so I'm looking at this market, I'm saying, okay, well, overall, right, overall prices run up quite a bit. And honestly, it really doesn't have any signs of, you know, slowing down, especially the way the last 4-hour candle closed right here. It doesn't look like it wants to stop just yet. Okay, it hasn't met significant resistance or, you know, good amount of sellers where it just torches price down. Okay, even with yesterday's rejection at $7,300, you can see we just came back to about, I don't know, 6,700, and now we're pushing back up towards 7,000 again, right? So it looks like, you know, Bitcoin is ready and geared up for the big area where price will gravitate towards. I'll show you guys exactly what that is, right? That's around this particular area right here, okay? So the high volume node for the next area is right up here. Okay, this was the last period of consolidation before we drop down, right? So remember that price likes to move between high volume areas and towards the area that has a good amount of support or resistance. So if it moved from this high volume area, which is $6,600, $6,700, the next big high volume area is this area right here. Okay, that's around $7,800, $7,900. Okay, that matches up with this little period of consolidation. So if price does break up past this particular marker, which is also very important, all right, this yearly open, chances are it's going to go higher. Now, what are my thoughts on this? Okay, I think personally, this yearly open is probably going to be pretty tough to get through. Okay, reason being, yearly opens, big markers on a big level, especially, you know, the monthly time frames, are very tough to just break through, you know, easily. Okay, they're really not that easy to break through. Okay, so for example, you know, I had done an analysis on the yearly open, like right here. I think, where was it? January 1st. Let's go check that out, right? So that's the yearly open for 2019. Okay, and I want to show you guys this. Okay, so we actually, this was the start of the yearly open. All right, so this particular area of candles. Notice how when we broke above it, and then once we came back down, we tested that yearly open for multiple weeks, right? Multiple weeks right there. And once we smashed up through it, then we used that support, and then we took off for that big rally towards $13,900 or so. All right. In this particular instance, okay, where we are for the yearly open, we're just hitting it as resistance. So chances are, I mean, we might get rejected by it, pull down a little bit, maybe a couple $100, and then try to push back up through it if we're really supposed to break it. Okay, now to take the Bitcoin price action and, you know, look at it, you cannot look at it in a isolated perspective, right? You have to look at the overall markets as a whole. Okay, so number one being, let's check out the coronavirus data, which is the exogenous event that we're dealing with right now. Overall, infections are going up, deaths are going up, right? Across the board, and especially America leading the pack in this, okay? And America being the one country that leads in Bitcoin volume anyway, you know, I think Bitcoin is probably going to have a little bit of a struggle, whether it's the next few days or few weeks, right? It doesn't matter how the technicals look and how easy it is to move the asset. I still believe that Bitcoin is that high risk asset, and I don't think that fund managers, money managers, and institutions do not want to touch it unless we are in a risk on environment, meaning equities themselves are bouncing up, gold is looking good, the economy is looking a little healthy. Okay, I don't think people want to touch speculative assets like Bitcoin when the world itself is a bit uncertain, especially the economy is uncertain, right? Given the fact that we had 6.5 million jobless claims yesterday, again, I don't know if you guys saw my video from yesterday, but I really broke down everything in terms of what's happening in the economy, where we see prices for equities and gold and other assets going from there. And so in this particular instance, what was it? The Fed itself consistently keeps adding more and more assets to their balance sheet, right? That's one scary factor. Number two, we have, oil itself, in a struggle. And obviously yesterday, oil picked up a little bit, right? Because the president himself tweeted that Saudi Arabia and Russia are gonna reduce their production, which I don't know if they will, because I don't even know if they've confirmed that they will. So oil itself is starting to pick back up, and when oil picks back up, sometimes the equities sort of follow it a little bit, because oil is actually a big part of the industry, right? I think it's like 6 or 8% of the overall GDP of the world. So it's a big part of a big chunk of global economies, right? And so when oil starts moving, equities start maybe turning the tide a little bit. Okay. Number two, all right, I did state that like I said, 6.6 million Americans unemployed, right? So obviously that's got to be a little bit tough for the economy to swallow. The question is, has the market itself already priced that in, or are we going to dump lower? Well, my personal thought is, even though we went from this high to this low and dropped 35%, now we're bouncing up another 20%. All we're really doing is we're smashing into the retracement, which is the 38% right there, 382, right? From this high to this low. And we smashed it pretty perfectly, right? So I expect at the very least a retest of these lows right here, or we might smash down lower. Okay, that's kind of my thought process given the overall impact of what the coronavirus has had to the economy. And also before even the coronavirus, the US economy was already slowing down in growth. The global growth was slowing down. Corporate debt was to its all-time highs. Overall debt across the board was to its all-time highs. We were cutting interest rates for no reason. So you could see that there are already signs of trouble across the board in the US economy. And again, I'm not trying to make this conversation US-centric, but I'm from the US, and that's the only economy that I understand fully, right? And also it's the largest one, so of course it's going to have impact across the board. And given the fact that the US dollar is a world currency reserve, I also try to do my best to understand the US dollar as well. Okay, so point is, American equities sold off, gold sold off, US oil sold off, and obviously Bitcoin sold off. Okay, so we were then, at least a few weeks ago, in a very risk-off environment and a liquidity crisis that everyone wanted to get out of, right? Meaning everyone wanted to get into cash. So it didn't matter if you had Bitcoin, or the hopes of this is the safe haven asset or any of that. No one cares about that garbage when you don't know when you can get your next paycheck to pay rent or feed your family, right? That's the last thought that people have, to be honest, okay? And so if that's the case, Bitcoin is going to get sold off some more. I wouldn't really worry about this climb. This to me, again, in essence, looks like a extended short squeeze, okay? If you really think that this is all natural movement right here and we're supposed to just head off into 10,000 or something, or whatever prices because there's a halving coming up, then I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to what's happening in the world. Okay, I think that's a very ignorant thought. If you think the world is going to push up one particular asset when the entire, globe is falling apart, I think that's a little immature, right? The mature thought process is I want to look at how I can take advantage of this asset once it starts breaking down, or how I can short higher. Okay. So like I said, the chances of us shorting, we have a couple, right? Number one, okay, this consolidation before we broke down, once we reach up into this box, I'm going to see if we get rejected in this box. Okay. That's around 7,050 to 7,150. If we get rejected in this box, I'd consider shorting. If we, start pushing through it with high volume, I'm just not going to short, right? I'll see where the next area is where we're going to get rejected. Okay. And that very well could be right up here, around $7,800, 8,000. I don't know. Right. But what am I going to do? Right. I'd rather wait. I'm not going to get run over by a train, right? And train being Bitcoin. So, sometimes just waiting, being patient, you'll have really great trades, folks. All right. I promise you will. Okay. And you won't piss away your capital by trying to, short the top exactly in any particular instance, or catch the bottom of any particular asset dropping, right? You'll know exactly what to look for in terms of confirmation. All right. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm looking for either a rejection on the smaller time frames around this particular consolidation, 7,050 to 7,150, and I'd short, place a stop above $7,300, ride this down towards $6,700, maybe even $6,400. Or, okay, if it smashes through and it looks like it's just going to continue up higher, who knows? I might, jump into a scalp long and then try to long this up towards, like I said, this area, 7,800 to 8,000. Well, ultimately, if it just blasts right through, I might not get a chance to long. I might just wait up here and go for a short. Okay. So that's how we, conduct our analysis, folks. I provide these kinds of setups to our community every single day. I let people know exactly what my thought process is, how I'm going to go about it, what kind of trades I'm entering. Everything associated, with the trade I provide, whether it's the reasoning, the entry, the stop, the target profit. Okay. So this is what you get with the Advantage membership, right? $97 a month, you get multiple asset classes to trade. Okay. With, 2-a-day video analysis. So even yesterday, I stated that, this was our analysis yesterday afternoon, midday. And then before that, I had another analysis just for Advantage members only, right? So point is, tons of analysis, tons of information. If you really want to join and you're up for the challenge, CryptoSomniac.com, hit the products page and join Advantage before the prices go up. Okay, remember, we've added these new features, so I can't keep charging the same, right? So make sure you join before the prices go up. All right, that's it. Y'all take care and keep your stops tight, folks. Enjoy your Friday. Cheers.